All right, we are live on Facebook. All right, gang, Gardner here. It is Monday. I trust this finds you well, and for all of my my Canadian family and people, I trust your long weekend was amazing. So here we are today. I want to lay down some discussion on back to the basics. Back to the basics. Um, with Leap Zone Strategies, we obviously we work predominantly with business owners, and we work from business startups to seven-figure businesses, from team dynamics to solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, online business models, brick and mortar, you name it, it's there. And uh, we deal specifically with business owners, which are people themselves. So we do a lot of executive style coaching, i.e. life coaching, and part of the mix we do. And we always find ourselves always going back to the fundamentals. What are the ABCs, right? What are the building blocks of our success? Building blocks of who we are as people. And there are building blocks in everything, right? So the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, those are there in everything. And so understanding that has become a crucial part for a lot of our business owner success, and a lot of people that are on a self-growth journey. And just to give you some context here, and this is across the board in all facets of life. So take sport, for example. In rowing is a very, very technical sport, very technical. So there's so much biomechanical efficiency that goes into each and every stroke, with a multitude of different things that can offset one stroke to the next. And so when we start coaching and learn to row, or novice athletes, you start with what? You start with the fundamentals, like any sport. And in rowing, it's drills, right? Certain drills that make up sequentially the fundamental sequence of a rowing stroke. Well, if you had Olympians that were sitting here with me, that have been on a 4-year quadrennial cycle, or 8, or even some that have gone 3, and I know a couple that are on the 4th. However, they all come back to what? They all come back to the basics. Their coaches have them doing drills. Gold medalists, multiple gold medalists at the Olympic podium sit and they do drills. Why? Because they have to go back and understand that you can't build something, you can't build a cathedral without what? Without a foundation, which is made up of 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and so forth, right? So now in the business arena, I don't care what success level you are at in business, and we do startups to like I said, 7 figures, and successful based on revenue. If we're going to base a business success on revenue or impact and things like that, we're still, as coaches, we're still finding ourselves, we revisit the same stuff and hash out the same things with owners from here to there on the spectrum. And it's because they get caught up in the cathedral and in the stained glass window, and how that's going to work, and what to do, and coming up with a pivot to generate a different revenue stream, and do this, and then organize a team, and add a team member, don't add a team member, all these things. And what do? We take them back to the fundamentals. Now at Leap Zone Strategies, we have what we call our brand DNA, right? That is the cornerstone of what makes us truly unique and differentiates ourselves from our competitors, right? And so getting back to the DNA, which in a sense of the business owner and the business is ultimately part of the owner themselves, understanding what's their true north, understanding their core values, their decision makers, right? What is their brand promise? What is their brand stand? Things like that, the X factor, how do they differentiate themselves from their competitors? All these things, getting to ultimately the why, what's the purpose, that helps to reconnect and realign and re-anchor the reason why that stained glass window is going to go there in the cathedral. Very important. Getting back to the basics, right? And lastly, the last arena that I'm going to throw at is life, is us on our own individual paths to self-growth and understanding. We're all on a journey, and let's not discount the fundamental things that really were involved in that journey. So I periodically, always, my basics, if you will, my fundamentals, is I go back to books, I go back to speeches, to movies, to music that elicits things in me that started to turn the turbines in my brain and the pistons of momentum towards my development. Over the past month and change now, you've heard me talk about really finding your inner truth, your inner core truth, and what I call the jungle event that each of us need to go through to really uncork our ultimate truth. And that in itself is a basic that I never forget. That is part of what stimulates me always. I can always go back to that moment, to that jungle event, and to connect to the why. Why am I doing this live right now? Right? It fuels me. It fuels my fire, and it helps me to reconnect. So in terms of me, I want to build a cathedral too. I want to impact on a multiple level, right? Not only just through the camera lens, but also with my book, with speaking, with inspiring business owners, with inspiring people. Well, before I know how that fits, I have to go back to my fundamental building blocks, which are my ABCs. So don't discount what it is that has been utilized by you to get where you are. Okay, so tying this all up, gang, look, at the end of the day, life itself in all its glory, wisdom, wonder, chaos, confusion, depending on what's going on, it all comes back to fundamentals. Think about it. The DNA, the 1, 2, 3, the ABCs. Everything goes back to basics. It's how we came into existence. So why not always go back to the basics to propel you forward, your business, whatever it is that you want in life. All right. I am out. Have a great rest of the day, or wherever this finds you in your Facebook algorithmic feed. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Cheers.